Hi folks, this is Dennis with Grizzly Gold Trap. This video describes how to set up and tune your Grizzly Gold Trap sluice in most streams or rivers with adequate flow. On many streams and rivers, you'll need to channel the flow by constructing wing dams, which we've already built here. Place your sluice in the water, keeping the water level at the entrance of the transport deck to within 1/2 to 3/4 inch of the top of the sidewall. This keeps the water depth running over the transport deck at about 1 3/4 inches deep. There needs to be about 4 to 7 degrees of angle on the stream bed where you set your sluice. The angle of the transport deck on this setup is about 6 degrees. You may need to add flat rocks under the entrance of the transport deck or under the capture chamber to tune the sluice. In this setup, I needed to clear some rocks out from under the lower end to level the sluice side to side. I also positioned some rocks on the sides of the sluice to hold it in place and stabilize it. At this point, you can slide the sluice either upstream or downstream to control the water depth at the entrance point, again keeping the level within 1/2 to 3/4 inch from the top of the sidewall. Once you have the right water depth entering the sluice, you can continue to tune the angle by lowering the chamber end or raising it. In this case, I needed to place a thin flat rock under the end to achieve an even flow over the deck above the capture chamber. This view shows the angle and the smooth flow of water over the deck above the chamber. Sometimes if the angle is too steep or shallow, you'll get a flow over the chamber deck that looks like this, sort of an arch over the deck. Make sure that you have enough water depth at the entrance, and then slightly decrease the angle of the capture chamber by adding a flat rock under it. Here are a few more views of the angle and the setup of the sluice. One good indicator that you have adequate water flow or velocity to efficiently operate the sluice is to look at it from above. The flow should create a strong V that extends about 3/4 of the way down the transport deck toward the grizzlies. Keep the sluice in line with the current direction and not at an angle to it. How you feed material into any sluice, be it a riffle sluice or a fluid bed, will affect the amount of gold you capture or lose. Feed the material at a rate that allows it to stratify as it moves down the transport deck and efficiently separates at the grizzlies, with the material larger than 1/4 inch flowing up and over the grizzlies and the deck above the capture chamber. It only takes a few seconds to shake the material off the shovel and onto the deck, as opposed to dumping a whole shovelful onto it and overfeeding the system. If a few flat rocks sit on the grizzlies, they will oftentimes be washed away with the next shovel load. You can also gently clear the grizzlies with the shovel or with your hand, clearing the rocks toward the sampling riffles. Quickly dumping a large shovelful material results in overfeeding the sluice, jamming material up at the grizzlies, and potentially losing gold over the top. When needed, clear out the gravel and rocks accumulating below the sluice that can affect the exchange rate within the capture chamber. To empty the sluice, clear away a few of the rocks on the side to allow you to get hold underneath both sides of the sluice. As you lift the sluice out, keep it somewhat level. Place the capture chamber end into a 5-gallon bucket filled with water and plunge the chamber up and down a few times, keeping it tilted slightly to allow the material to empty out. Place the gold trap back into the stream, level it and tune, and keep processing more material. The amount of material emptied from the capture chamber is typically about 4 to 4 1/2 cups of material. So good luck. I hope this video helps, and heavy pans.